Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money,
Dollar, dollar.
And now, another edition of Wrestling with Attitude from Charlotte, North Carolina, the best wrestling podcast out there today. With your host, the intellectual savior of the masses, The Summit.
If we have any 6'5" women that are interested, Steven Singleton, our D-Generation 6, Bo Generation.
And the mouth of the Carolinas, Little Steven.
Don't be talking to the 18-day champion like that. Bo, conversationalist person.
Bo, horrible.
The former 6-month champ, the melting pot, JP.
Just go back and do that, RVD. Go back to Philadelphia. I'm sure there's a bingo hall. You could sweep the floors, give the old ladies another marker.
Little Steve. And this man makes Wrestling Attitude live to his standards. Dirty Dutch.
I mean, I liked watching Justin Gabriel until he got whooped by Goldberg. You ruined my core.
Yeah. You can listen to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and Spreaker.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook and tweet us at WWA Show. Wrestling with Attitude.
All right, welcome Wrestling with Attitude on Stitcher, Spreaker, and iTunes. Joining me today, of course, is Dirty Dutch.
Oh, yeah, I had to clean up this time.
He sure did.
I did. I'm looking spiffy today.
And then Little Steven, he's here.
Oh, thank you.
So he is here today.
You had to clean up? Like, that just sounds awful.
I know. I was really looking forward to the Brooklyn Brawler look, but it's just not happening.
And, of course, I am this guy. Be a champion.
Number
No thing else. That's right. No one else.
Excuse me?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I took my time out again this week. Yes, I did. I went through and added up who won.
The Summit.
By one.
By
No
one.
way.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We went through it together.
Right.
By one.
You guys
And
couldn't just let it be. You couldn't just let me win.
what are you talking about? It's the show. It's Showcase of Immortals, dude. You expect me to go away?
Yeah, I do, actually. Everyone else went away.
I had so much time this week, and everything. I had to share an interview.
How hungry are you for another title? Because so much was satisfied by winning this one.
I know about all the greats. I want to be one of those greats. I am writing down my next challenge.
James had that look in his eye. He came out and just completely destroyed.
This man, James, was awesome. That was one of the best performances I've ever seen.
James is by far our best player. I don't think there's really anyone next to him. I think he's there, then you go down the list.
Are you your harshest critic?
Absolutely. I'm my hardest critic on myself. Do I think there's anyone that's even close to my level? No. Absolutely not. There's some people that don't think I deserve to be here on top, but I think I do.
James, he's doing stuff that I've never seen before.
I think the man that we're looking at right here is the best of all.
He was absolutely fearless.
There is a couple examples of why I'm the great picker I am today. Growing up on Sunday afternoons watching wrestling, and that helped me build myself as a champion as I am today. And hopefully I can keep winning and catch the 6-month champion JP. That's my next goal. And help inspire kids to be a champion like I am today.
VP. MVP. Hey, just saying, dude. The luck goes to the champion.
No, it doesn't. First off, don't be like, Don't be
Come
so
on.
enthused by it
Hey,
because
just admit that's the funniest thing you've ever heard.
I've heard it too many times already.
Our listeners love it. I mean, I got an interview actually coming up with Rachel Nichols in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be fun.
No, seriously, I got an interview with Rachel Nichols. I'm gonna do. I think I can find one Bryant Gumbel.
Well, Brian Gumbel can take time out of his busy
I'm gonna be
schedule.
on that HBO show he does every once in a while.
He doesn't even know the name of it.
What, Gumbel the Gumbel?
No, it's Hard Knocks.
Is it Hard Knocks now?
Oh man. Oh man. That was.
See, listeners,
You see-
this is what happens when someone tells you they win. They don't want to believe it, so they go back and they try to, no, this didn't happen. This didn't happen. Wait, no, I won. I'm Mr. WrestleMania.
Next to Shawn Michaels, I'm right there.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, dude.
Whoa.
I show up when the big time calls. You got to remember, what's this? Ain't this like my 4th time this year of being champion?
Yeah, it's like my 4th too.
No. This is 2nd time for you. Last month was 2nd time because you had 18 day and then you had this one.
How could we have 4? We
You've
haven't
had
even had
twice.
4 pay-per-views this year yet.
Yes, we have. Dude, what are you talking about? There's 8. No, there's 12 a year.
Yeah.
No, actually 14 a year.
No, you're talking about this
Because
year,
you got
though,
2,
correct?
1 October, 1 November. Or 2 in October, 2 in November.
Because if you remember correctly, I've won
You've not won 4 times.
I've won 3.
Okay, maybe, no.
No,
2.
I've won Royal Rumble, thank you. I won Money in the Bank.
No, you did. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh.
Here's a funny thing.
Oh.
Here's the funny thing. 2 years in a row, I picked both Money in the Bank winners, and you end up winning.
Yeah, well, hey, man.
2 years in a row. I picked both Money in the Bank winners on both cases the last couple
You
of
can
years.
pick them all you want, but it doesn't mean you win, man.
Well, it doesn't matter because I'm the champion right now.
Well,
It is, and it's WrestleMania.
So?
Just like my boy cashed in, I cashed in.
We ain't talking about that today. But,
Oh, no, we're talking about that. We got a lot to talk about. Now that little Stevens wasted our time. I mean, because, we're talking about champions. So champions speak. All right. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Welcome to the show today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And but before we get going, we'll talk about WrestleMania a little bit. Dirty has a segment for him. We're going to call it the Dirty What Ifs.
A dirty what?
that just sounds horrible.
That's the reason we called it the Dirty What Ifs.
You want to do the dirty what ifs first?
That's what I was thinking, because you
All right.
ain't got a lot of time. You got about 10 minutes.
Yep. Okay, so
Stinky.
dirty what ifs.
Dirty what ifs. I kind of like the ring of that. We just need to.
There's
get
a ring
sweeper
to
for it.
that?
Yeah, I like the ring to it. Dirty what ifs.
So we were just discussing the Andre Battle Royal.
Okay.
Can't ever say it. I don't know why, but anyways,
Andre the
yeah, exactly. See?
Andre the Giant Battle
Battle
Royal.
Royal.
Say,
See,
you
it's
gotta say-
hard.
Okay, so we were just discussing how it feels like there's no value to it. So we were discussing what if they had it where if you won that, you had a championship shot of your choosing the next night. So if you won it the first time, Cesaro could potentially be WWE champion last year.
Right.
So where would he be right now if that happened?
Still where he is. He'd had the championship for a night, and they'd take it off of him probably.
You think that?
I did it with Ziggler.
Well,
See, I don't.
Technically, he wouldn't have it for one night. If he won it at Raw, he would at least have it a week.
Yeah.
Okay, technically, ever who won it at WrestleMania will only have it for one night if it was a new champion.
Yeah, and it would put him in the book. It would put him in the records book at least as a champion. So I
Yeah.
mean, he would have went somewhere. I agree with that. I mean, but again, well, I guess we'll talk about that later because I don't want to talk about. I mean, this year I wouldn't want to see that happen to that person.
Well,
if that was what
absolutely.
Why you say that? I mean, everybody knows what happens because you
Yeah.
can watch it for $9.99 on WWE Network anytime.
Well, I mean, like, but that's saying, like, with the Big Show, I wouldn't want to see the Big Show have an opportunity or anything. But with Cesaro, yes, it should be like how King of the Ring was, in my opinion. If you want it.
What do you mean if big? Look, ever who wins the Andre Battle Royal, there should be some meaning to it.
No, there should
because
be.
they didn't even mention it on Raw, and we'll talk about it later. But there should be some meaning to it. So I think, either they get the shot the next night or a week after. I would do it the next night because the crowd is so
hyped up.
You need to have something happen. And I know you didn't just do that. But it's so hyped up and everything.
What happened?
Nothing.
But it needs to be something done. I mean, you can't just not do anything.
This is what I was going to say. Cesaro has it. What if he holds it for that 6 months, and then he goes against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam versus John Cena? So now you have two suplex machines going against each other versus Super Cena getting the crap beat out of him.
But the problem with that, though, is you got a Money in the Bank briefcase. And what would you can't say, okay, here's a check, cash in whenever you want to, when you already got another check out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason I said do it the next night on Raw because of the atmosphere. That was what was missing Monday. Like usually every year before, somebody cashes in or a title changes. This year, that didn't happen at all. You had a couple debuts and one debut and one return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the reason I say you should do it maybe the night after because the WrestleMania crowd is still there and get them something to go home to build on for the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be a good thing if they did something with it because you're right. The Battle Royal, they're not doing anything.
And say if say if the Usos one of the Usos won, they could cash in towards a title match for the tag title the next night.
It could mean anything you want it to be. So
the only bad part would be if like Rollins winning the next night on Raw. Would you really want Rollins to be giving up the championship after one night? No.
But that's why you get the match. Excuse me. That's why you get it where, the first time they're going to win the title, the first time that they win the Battle Royal, they're going to win the championship. Second year, they drop it. They don't win it. I mean, that's what I would do if it was me.
Yeah, but the first night at WrestleMania, if Rollins won the belt, you wouldn't. He's had it for one night. You wouldn't go to Raw and have him lose it.
No.
The next night. That's the only problem with that.
Unless you wanted to do a feud with those two, which would be fun.
Well, even if you don't. I hate the one night champion things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let me tell you why. The number one reason is Christian and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Christian had it for 4 days. He finally won a World Heavyweight Championship and in the WWE that wasn't ECW, and he had it for 4 days.
Yeah, which sucked because he deserved to have it a lot longer. And they had that feud go on at least for 5-6 months.
Right.
And you would have thought that, okay, that means Christian might have it for a few months, then Randy Orton. But no, Christian got screwed, and it's like, I mean, I guess they did it for storyline purposes, but what I'm saying, though, you could see, like, if they did that, then Rollins could have a feud with someone else, because he's already got a feud with all these other people.
Right.
Let's see him have a feud with someone else, and then he can go back to doing, if that fails, he can go back to doing something else.
Right.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. Unlike, like what happened, 2 years ago with Alberto Del Rio and the whole Dolph Ziggler cashing in. That was good.
That was awesome.
But, the only reason I feel that he cashed in was because the whole thing that Alberto was actually injured in real life. Like, they needed someone else to take the belt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no other place better than WrestleMania, but the night after WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
To cash in because of the crowd.
And I think that's where your lackluster is, because this year they actually did it at WrestleMania. Right. So, it's like, where do you go? You just did the biggest move in wrestling history. Where do you go from here? Like, how do you top that at Raw? It's tough. It's tough to top that, in my
Easy.
opinion.
You have a good IC match, which they did. I'll give them that. A good U.S. match, I guess they did. And we'll talk about Raw, but I think it should have been against somebody else.
Yeah.
Somebody coming back. A surprise.
Okay.
If I was them, I would use Sheamus to come back and fight Cena than what he did.
That's what I thought.
Because it would have been made more sense. Because you could have done a story with them for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree.
What else did you have? Was that it?
Yeah, that was my what if for the night.
This week in Dutch's What If.
No, Dirty.
Dirty Dutch. What If.
Dirty's What Ifs.
Dirty's What If.
There
Here
you go.
on Wrestling with Attitude.
Hey, you want to save that? We'll do that sound later. So I know you got to get out here in a minute, but what do you think of WrestleMania? Go
Top
ahead.
notch.
You got 4 minutes.
I thought it was top notch. I enjoyed all of it. Most of it I enjoyed. There was, like I said, the Diva match to me was really, it was okay. The only thing that kept me interested was Paige, of course. And then, I mean, I love it.
I'm so glad we got another Paige person on here.
Hey,
I
Paige
love
is the
Paige.
best.
Paige is awesome, dude.
Highlights for me, obviously, the ridiculous reversal of the RKO, or the curve stomp into the RKO. That, to me, is one of the best moves ever in the history of wrestling. I could not believe what I saw when I saw it.
As a person that wrestled, was that all Orton? Because somebody said that was all Orton.
No, and I mean, like, honestly, like, seriously, watching the move, me and my brother watching that, I mean, you could see where Rollins extended his leg. He made it look really good, though. He really did.
It takes two to tango.
It does. And the thing is, Rollins really had to keep his balance on that. He really did. He had to push off perfectly right when Randy Orton came in there, like, to come up. And the thing is, Rollins caught major air.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever got that much air, like, from the ground. I mean, he was at least 12 feet, 13 feet in the air. Came down, boom, hit it. And it was funny because I've done this before. You do something so spectacular, you almost forget to pin. And that's what Orton was doing. He was like, oh, my gosh, I just hit that. That was oh, yeah. Let me pin real quick. And then he lays over and beats him.
Real quick, what was your favorite entrance?
Favorite entrance, and I'm not going to be biased on this. Obviously, I want to say Sting, but Sting wasn't my favorite. But
really?
Yeah. I really enjoyed the Sting one.
You like the drums and all that?
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah, of course.
Really, over Triple H?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be biased because I would say Sting, but definitely enjoyed Triple H.
Okay.
Triple H one was pretty cool. I like that whole thing with the skulls that he had.
The Terminator thing.
Yeah,
a lot of people liked Rusev, is what I'm hearing.
I love
a
the
lot
tank.
of people liked Rusev, but they didn't like
the tank.
Yeah,
but it's been done before.
They didn't like how Cena just came out with a towel, though. They're like, he should have came out.
This
with
is what I don't
other
get.
stuff.
WrestleMania, he comes out with a towel. Every year WrestleMania, he does something different. This year, it was like,
I expected so much. I even was sitting there with the crowd that I was with, and I was like, all right, let's see what Cena does. He's come out with the Mustang before, and he drove up. I was like, that was kind of cool. And then he did a towel, and I was just kind of like, wow.
You did nothing.
You're about to win the championship, and that was your entrance? Wow. That was boring.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
That was boring.
well, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yes, today's fun fact was...
well, that's what I was trying to ask you earlier.
Yeah, today's fun fact was WrestleMania 2000 was on April 2nd. It was actually in 2000, the aptly named WWF WrestleMania 2000 was held in Anaheim, California, and it was the only WrestleMania in history to not feature a standard one-on-one.
Yeah, the whole card was something other than one.
Wow.
Hardcore Holly won a Hardcore Battle Royal, and to win the WWF Hardcore title at the time, and Crash Holly was champion going into the event.
Yeah.
Edge, Christian defeated the Hardy Boys and the Dudleys in a triangle ladder match to win the WWF tag titles, which to me is one of the best matches ever, tag matches. That was great. That's one of the reasons why I did this little thing, because I was like, wait, didn't they win it on April 2nd? And so this is what came out of it. There was also a two-fall triple threat match between Chris Benoit, Jericho, Angle for the WWF Intercontinental title and the European Championship. And Benoit won.
Wow.
Yeah, Benoit won the European Championship, and then Jericho won the second fall.
You're right.
The Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Do you remember what the main event was?
Yeah, that was Rock, Big Show, Mankind, and Triple H with all the McMahons in everybody's corner, basically.
It was Mick Foley.
Or
Persona,
Mankind,
same
Mick
thing.
Foley, whatever.
Yep. But there was an elimination match and to retain the WWF title. And that was the one they coined too. It was every McMahon in the corner.
Yeah, which was great.
Shane,
That's
Big
what I
Show, Lindo was with Foley,
and The Rock was with
Mr. McMahon,
and Stephanie was with Triple H.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course. What else would you do? It would just be weird if Triple H or Rock and Stephanie were with each other. You're like, what? That's weird.
It'd be all right.
But but that's your fact of the day.
I like that. I didn't know that it was all like there was no actually one-on-one competitor in that whole WrestleMania. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I wanted to, we'll talk more about this. Me and you will talk about this more later, but they said that the change to the championship match was Seth Rollins didn't find out until he was winning. He didn't find out he was winning the title until halfway through the show. He found out when the Rock segment was going on.
Wow.
With Ronda Rousey. So he didn't find out until then. And it says he was taken into a room with Brock, Heyman, Reigns, and the producer of the match was Michael Hayes to work out a new finish. So, and supposedly Lesnar was okay with it, but Reigns' family was upset he was not winning. Get over it. That's all I got to tell you. Get over it.
But they're doing the whole thing like they did with Bryan. They're going to build up the ultimate good guy. That's what they're going to do
every
with
year.
them. Yeah, but
that's what you're supposed to build up the good guy throughout the year to WrestleMania, or at least the main match. What?
I just don't see how you can build him right now with how much heat he has with the crowd.
Well, you need to flip him.
Absolutely.
And I'm surprised they didn't flip him this week, but I think that's what's going to happen now with Lesnar maybe being off TV. You got a chance to flip him.
Mm-hmm. I can see it at Extreme Rules.
So
it was mixed. Actually, I do want to say that on Raw, it was mixed with Roman Reigns.
It wasn't as bad as it was.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as it was, and I think that's partially because
Rollins won.
Yeah, and I really think too that that Rollins won that, and it's not Reigns as the champion right now.
Well, and what I was trying to tell JP and the guys, because they were mad because the first one to win is Rollins. Rollins is the best character from head to toe. He's got it all compared to the other ones right now.
He does.
You can say what you want. I know what politics, whatever. He has it all right now. He's the first NXT champion. He's the first one to win it here. But with him and Reigns, and that's what I was trying to tell the guys, if you got the two of them together, they'll make each other better. And they have such great chemistry with each other. Their matches will be great going forward. That's the reason. But you let Rollins be the champion. You let Reigns come back and win it at some point in the next 4 months. And they're both. And you got a rivalry for 4 months if you don't go him and Orton. If you don't feel Reigns is ready, you can go to him and Orton. And you can't tell me after watching the WrestleMania match, the two of them can't steal the show every night.
Yeah, no, I mean, but the one thing I want to point out, though, is, like, because you were talking about Roman Reigns, the crowd was split.
Yeah.
With Rollins, he got pops on Monday.
Oh, he got pops
He did.
Sunday night.
He did.
Yeah, but I was a little surprised because when he won that, the crowd kind of turned like, we like this.
Yeah.
And I was confused because these are the people that dogged on Rollins since day one, and now they're like, yay, I like it. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Rollins going to be that one of those guys, like, I ain't going to say is going to be like Orton, that you can flip.
Which is fine.
The next night.
Which is fine, but, like, I
Because
mean.
he's got that look.
Do you see him going face?
No.
No?
Not
Okay.
anytime soon. Because the authority angle, you got to keep him.
Yeah.
I think maybe at some point, some point, the authority maybe screws him over.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Well, Triple H has a history of that, too. If somebody in his group wins that title, he always turns on him. Randy Orton, prime example.
I could see him doing that payback.
Well,
Think about it.
I could see this whole Brock Lesnar thing. You could let him be gone for a couple weeks, and then Triple H brings him back and put him against Rollins.
Mm-hmm. And
then you could turn him face.
I would, that's not a bad angle at all.
I know. I'm for hire WWE.
And you have, you're talking about the build-up for the championship. You could really build around that title with the talent that you have with Reigns and Rollins right now, and you can use Brock for anything.
Right.
You can build anybody off of Brock. So if you have a guy out there that's kind of coming up, and you have him go against Brock, win or lose, it doesn't matter. You can build him.
But there's only a handful of people that could go against Brock.
Absolutely.
Rollins, not Rollins, but Reigns is probably the best bet. You probably need to bring him back And I still think at some point you need to flip Reigns and have Heyman go with him. Lesnar can be by himself, whatever. Lesnar's fine.
Yeah.
Lesnar's that character, it doesn't matter. Or you could put him into authority and let him be the muscle finally.
Yeah.
Like they should have done a while back.
Yeah, see, here's the thing with, like, I don't know about Reigns going with Heyman, though. Like, Heyman does need to go with one of them. Like, I don't think Heyman needs to go with Seth Rollins because Rollins can talk. It's like with CM Punk. I never understood that. You didn't need Heyman. Like, you
It
don't.
just helped.
If you can talk.
Add it onto it.
Yeah, it made people hate him more because they loved him. So, but, I mean, with Rollins, he doesn't need that Heyman factor. Now, Reigns, I could see it, but I don't know. He just doesn't have that. He doesn't look like a Paul Heyman guy to me, you know?
Yeah. Oh, Reigns? Yeah.
So, but no, I thought it was great. So
it was a good segment.
But yeah, we'll get into that. But did you get your list?
Yeah, I mean, to tell you the truth, WWE did pretty good with, you know, the strangest bedfellows.
Are you serious?
I think they did. I mean, there was maybe one they left off, but except for the number one, but we'll get to that.
Well, thinking that was your favorite.
WWA's Sound Off, where your voice can be heard.
Sound off, let 'em know how you feel.
You're-
The anger inside is real. Sound off.
You're actually going to like my list,
Okay.
which is surprising. If you go to our website, WrestlingAttitude.com, you can vote or you can tweet us at WWE Show. I'll leave this up for I'll leave it up till next week, and then I'll change it to the next week polls is going to be Mystery Men.
Yeah.
The Sound Off. If you go to WrestlingAttitude.com, though, I have a poll up on the right. I got Do Love and Stone Cold, William Regal and Tajiri, Matt Hardy MVP, Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon, Owen Hart, Yokozuna, Santino Marella and Kozlov, the Rock and Sock Connection, Head Cheese, Booker T and Goldust, Team Hell No, William Regal and Eugene, Two-Man Power Trip, Stone Cold Triple H, Rikishi Rico, The Rock and Undertaker, Kane and X-Pac, CM Punk and Kofi, Jericho, Show Miz, Colossal Connection, and Little Steven and the Summit.
Can we explain that?
And
the Colossal Connection. Who
That
was
is Andre the Giant and King Haku.
Oh God.
Ming. Otherwise
Ming.
Ming.
Oh, Ming.
Otherwise Ming.
Ming and Andre?
It was. This was before Ming. But wow. And so there's one vote, and one vote is for Little Steven and the Summit.
Woo!
We're winning the poll.
That's right, Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan. We're doing it.
Yeah, because you want America's Odd Couple. Here you go. Let me tell you something. If you ever play a video game with somebody, don't let it be him.
And let me tell you something. If you want to play a video game with somebody, don't pick James the Summit to be your partner because he'll
Why?
do nothing but dog on you through the whole
You should
game.
win. You should win. There's
He's-
no acceptance of failure.
He's the worst. Like, if he was ever a basketball coach, I would not want him as my basketball
Oh, no,
coach.
heck
You should
no.
have made that three-pointer. You should have made that two-pointer. What is that? What were you doing? Put your hands up. Come on. What were you doing?
Well, when I say stand behind the line, you stand behind the three-point line. You don't come into the lane and try to score when we're down by 10 with 2 minutes to go.
Is NC State hiring for a coach? Because I want to see you be the coach.
I wish they were. But, yes, we're actually – and somebody voted for us, dude.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, listener. You're welcome for all the great years.
It's our enjoyment. I can't believe we're on the same list as Bobby Heenan and the Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Wow,
that's the funny part. I'm good with that though. I don't know who did the poll. Did you get to our website? It must have been Dirty.
No,
Thanks,
it wasn't
Dirty.
me. It wasn't me.
I mean, Dirty Dutch. All right. Anyway,
Everything's dirty.
Yeah, this week's top 10 though was Strangest Bedfellows. And somehow we didn't make it on the WWE Universe. I don't know why. I mean, because people listen to our show.
It's the universe, man.
We have at least 5 regular listeners, I know.
5 regular.
My mom, yours, his, and JP's.
Now my mom stopped listening last week.
Y'all saying bad things.
Yeah.
Down to 4.
Number 10 was Do Love and Stone Cold. Pretty much went through it. Number 9 was Ren Regal and Tajiri. They were funny. It was good. Matt Hardy MVP was definitely should be up here. Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. That should be number 1. I'm gonna tell you right. That should be number 1. I'll tell you one in a minute. Owen Hart and Yokozuna. Santino Marella and Kozlov.
I was going to say, they probably got up there just because of the comedy that Santino brought.
Yeah, pretty much. And the dance move Kozlov does. The Rock and Sock Connection, yeah, I can understand that. Head Cheese. Are you serious?
I get why that's on there.
I don't. Head Cheese was barely, when he did it, it was like for a month, maybe.
Yeah.
Who is Head Cheese?
It was Al Snow and Steve Blackman.
Oh,
but you remember when he had little cheese head on his head? He was going through different gimmicks.
Yeah.
But they never said, hey, we're definitely doing head. I mean, they did, but they only did it like for a month, I think.
Yeah.
But Head Cheese is horrible. Booker T and Goldust and Team Hell No, of course, would be one.
Well,
go ahead. Tear it apart. Well, who would you add? Here's some others. Let me go. The Oddities, Ren Regal, Eugene, pretty much everything I just mentioned earlier.
Okay. Well, the one that I don't understand is the one with Stone Cold and Dude Love should be moved a little bit
lower.
Yeah.
One.
Well, I mean, I think it was better than some of the other ones we listed. I mean, better than Kozlov and Santino Marella because, I mean, you had – I mean, again, that one wasn't that long. They were tag team champions for how long? For maybe –
6 months, I think.
Were they? Wow.
Well, you got to remember, back at that time, they didn't defend the titles.
Oh, yeah. I keep
that much.
Mine that is not on that list is Booker T and RVD.
I was thinking about that one.
And you have to remember, too, this is strange. And at the time, Booker T was that comedy wrestler. At the time, he was the comic relief. He was silly. He was goofy. And RVD was the serious guy at the time. So when they got paired up, I mean,
well, you could do Kane and RVD.
And
I don't know if you would do them though, would you?
I would do Kane and RVD over Booker T and RVD because because Kane and RVD. This was like right before Kane took his mask off, and they were more dominating than Booker T and RVD because this was the big red monster at the time, not the senator or operations director or the janitor of the bathroom today or the cook in the kitchen or the guy that sells popcorn out front.
Well, the one like I would take off the Santino and Kozlov and I put on a lot of people, I don't know if they'd understand it, but is Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body. Them two together, I think that was golden to me because they were odd.
Have you watched any of Tuesday Night Titans with Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby Heenan?
I've watched like 2 episodes.
Watch them all.
Okay.
Because the comedy with them two is just unreal. When you see the two of them together, it was so funny. Dude, I was watching it today, and I'm crying and remembering them two together. It is because they're so funny. It's, I mean... I guess you're kind of like, no, you're not that funny.
Oh,
I was going to say you're like my body to brain, but you're not really because you're not that funny.
Oh, thank you.
But the two of them together, it was just chemistry, dude. It was awesome. You saw the chemistry every time they were on TV.
Well, I mean, what do you think about Bobby? About the Body, Jesse, and
Gorilla. I think that would be good, but I would take Santino off, definitely.
Yeah.
I would take them off. I would take Head Cheese off because Head Cheese is a stupid name. It was stupid when they had it.
All right, Steve Blackman.
It was horrible. Steve Blackman was horrible. You know, he's good for a hardcore match. That's it.
He was better than Al Snow any day of the week for me.
You see, I like Al Snow by himself when he had just head. Because you only want one person when you got head.
But you don't want Al Snow when you got head. It's true.
Well,
I thought you already did yours.
Oh no, that was just an example.
Well, go ahead and
my team,
just an example.
Yeah, that
we
was
don't
an
do no
example.
examples on this
example.
show.
What do you think this is?
Hey, my favorite odd couple was Kane and Hurricane, hands down.
Oh God, I forgot all about that.
That was my favorite one. There you go. That's mine.
That's it?
That's it.
Kane and Hurricane.
Absolutely. Huge Hurricane fan, so.
Yeah. No, I mean, God, when was that? That was like, what, 2006,
It's been a while.
Yeah.
That was when the mask was already taken off, right?
No.
No?
No.
I would, man, I'm trying to think of some other ones. I mean, the oddities were crazy. If you remember the oddities. That could be another one. The oddities with Sable.
Oh, God.
Sable came out with them.
When Sable came out with them is what made it cool. It's what made it cool. It's true.
Made it relevant.
I mean, there's so many. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
What about Lay Cool?
I was getting ready to mention Lay Cool. Was different. You could add them, but I would definitely take Santino off. I put Lay Cool ahead of Santino.
Oh, of course.
And Cosmo. And then I would move everybody down. Team Hell No would go to the back. Bobby Heenan would be number one.
Okay.
Just because they were so different. The two of them were different, man. If you want to go to managers, you could do Jim Cornette with Yokozuna. You're talking about different.
Oh, my God.
You could do Yokozuna. Yeah, Yokozuna and Owen Hart should be ahead of them.
Yeah.
There's other people. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, and then we're going to talk about WrestleMania, Raw, and some wrestling rumors. You're listening to Wrestling with Attitude on Stitcher, Spreaker, and iTunes. This is the inspirational savior of wrestling, The Summit. That wasn't memorable. In Los Angeles,
Yes.
the stars of stars. Here comes the pain. That ain't what Sable said. Because you got to be a Bo Lever. That's the reason we call him the show off, not the spell off. It wasn't as good as Bo Dallas. Bo Stake It. Bowmanship. Bo hating. Bo up. You can slap tornadoes. I can climb a mountain because I'll be at the top of the summit. You're listening to Wrestling with Attitude on Stitcher, on Spreaker, and on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at WWA Show. Like us on Facebook at Wrestling with Attitude. And go to our website at WrestlingWithAttitude.com. And just believe in Wrestling with Attitude. All right, welcome back to Wrestling with Attitude.
Oh, we got stuff to talk about that guy later. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about him.
Man, talk about an impact.
So, yeah. But before we go any farther, I did want to talk about WrestleMania. I want to talk about the Hall of Fame. I watched all of it today, finally. I got through the rest of it. I'm trying to think. Who was the first one that came out?
Rikishi.
Rikishi came out. Look, I know I was against Rikishi going in the Hall, but I understand why. All right, he was in his hometown. You know, he did make an impact. I just, you know, there's Samoans when he was Fatu and different guys, when he was Samoan SWAT team. That was a better gimmick to me than him showing his butt.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing about Rikishi. He had so many different gimmicks. I mean, remember the Sultan and the Wild Samoans, or not the SWAT team Samoans.
Samoan SWAT team.
Yeah, and then he did one other. I can't remember what it was.
He did your favorite 3 seconds.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Rosie.
Yeah. Wait, no, I thought that was.
I thought that was him and Umaga.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then.
But my thing is they. I mean, I understand why he got in. His speech was good too. I'll say that. You know, him dancing with his sons. Absolutely agree. I'm fine with that. It's just the Hall of Fame is getting diluted with guys that kind of don't or not Hall. And everybody's gonna be a Hall of Famer. The way they're going with it.
Someone told me this like 2 days ago, and he said that the Hall of Fame it's going from being the Hall of Fame to being very good.
Right.
It's
not great.
Yeah, and that is a problem. But again, I think it's just WWE trying to give like people pats on the back for like, well, you've been in the business for so long, we're gonna put you in the Hall of Fame, which is not what you do. But I feel like. I guess they're just, you know, they don't want people to get burned out, and they don't want people to, you know, hate the company like a lot of the people in the 80s have bad ties with WWE because of what happened.
Right.
You know, I think that's what it is. But, I mean, like we said, if Ultimate Warrior can get in the Hall of Fame, there's going to be a lot of other guys that
No,
are
the Ultimate
gonna be
Warrior
in there.
should be in the Hall of Fame, dude. At least he's got a title run.
Yeah.
I mean, he made a... You can't compare him to Rikishi.
No.
Because he blows Rikishi out the water.
No, yeah.
In comparison.
Oh, he does. But, I mean, I see why Rikishi's in it because of the popularity thing. He was a popular wrestler at the time. I mean, the whole reason he was in the main events and stuff in, 2001 was because he was red hot, because they liked him.
No, I know. But I get why he's in. Oh, okay. The speech was good. And then we had Lunge of Blaze was the second one, right? I'm trying to remember. No, it wasn't Lunge of Blaze.
It was,
but I will say, okay, talk about Lunge of Blaze. She deserved to be in it, absolutely. I thought her speech was great. I didn't care. I don't like people. Natalya. I love Natalya, but what did she really have to do with a Lunge of Blaze?
Well, who else would you got out there?
I would rather have somebody that has something to do with them. Like when John Unitas, Laurinaitis came out, I understood once he said, you know, he broke in with them, which I completely forgot about.
That's funny.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. I would have got somebody that was wrestle against her or was a big. I would have done Paul Heyman would have inducted her before Natalya.
Yeah.
Because Heyman had something to do with her career. To me, you have somebody to be the inductor that has something to do with you. You know, Triple H inducting Arnold Schwarzenegger made sense. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I didn't know they did so much behind the ring with each other.
Right.
Like they beyond the ring, they did so much.
Right. But there's other things. That's what I'm saying. There's. It just, to me, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. No.
Arn Anderson would have made more sense with Lunge of Blaze.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know who you would put in there, I guess, because, like, I mean, any of the wrestlers that she wrestled, you don't know much of. There was, like...
Paul Heyman?
No, but I'm saying, like, the women wrestlers she wrestled.
No, you...
Because that's what I would want somebody that you wrestled a lot, put you in the Hall of Fame.
Or has something to do with your career.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm surprised Paul Heyman didn't do anything. But I think he doesn't want to do induction speeches.
Well, if you saw him, he was. It's very emotional for a lot of the. I mean, going to Hall of Fame is very emotional.
Yeah.
And then we had Connor's speech. I watched that.
I could not watch that one.
No, I watched it, and it's like I don't understand how you're a man and not watch it and not cry a little bit.
No, but I didn't want to watch it because I know what the outcome of it is, and I feel sad about it, and I'm glad they're honoring him. But, I've dealt with people like that, and it brings back bad memories of my life, I mean, but I'm glad they put Connor in there. And for once,
absolutely.
I liked Daniel Bryan once because it was right for him to do it.
Absolutely. No, it was good. He made,
And I really feel bad for the Warriors' widow. Like, just, I don't know what to say about her.
I mean, unfortunately, it happens every day to people. But she's got, like she said, she's got 2 good girls, and she's got WWE family to help her. That's the one thing I will say about wrestling is a family.
Yeah.
You're once you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing about it. Unlike other sports or other things, the teams usually take care of you. But
yeah.
And it's a family. But
I don't see like Tom Brady calling Drew Brees like every day like they're friends because they're in the league.
We don't know that. They may, but when you go to wrestling, that's the reason when you're at a wrestling event. If you're there to help, everybody shakes your hands or everybody say hey to everybody. There's nobody left out usually.
Yeah.
They may not speak to you wrestling night, but at least they say hello to you at the beginning of the night.
Which means something.
Right.
That means a lot.
So, but, that was good. Then we had, Macho Man.
Well, we had, what's his name?
Who?
Jimmy, or the Japanese guy, Ric Flair inducted him.
Yes, Ignami. That was good. Ric Flair was good with that. And we had the Bushwhackers, of course.
I actually did not mind the Bushwhacker speech. I thought it was good.
The speech was good. The comedy was great. I do love the Bushwhackers, but as far as a Hall of Fame, no.
Well, again, I see why the Bushwhackers are getting in because of they were title holders in 26 other places. Which is a record in a way, man. A lot of people can't say they were tag team title holders in 26 different countries. In 26 different countries is what it was.
What company they work for?
Well.
I mean, I understand 26 different...
Well, okay, different federation, whatever you want to call it.
But guess when they got to the big leagues, how many titles did they have?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand the different countries, and I know we use other excuses. We put other champions in the hall. But most of those other champions have come here and been a champion at least.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It's a tag title. The Nasty Boys have won a tag team title more than once.
And we'll see them in
WWE. I'm just saying, the Bushwhackers was as bad as they were. They were better than them, probably.
You're right. I agree with you on that. I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with them being in because it's over. It's done. I'm looking forward to next year.
I'm okay with it. I am too. But also, you had the Macho Man. It's great to see the Genius. It's always great to see the Genius. The only thing.
Sorry. I was gonna say. I know JP mentioned it. Is that he really talks like that?
Oh,
like, wow.
You Macho Man?
No,
the Genius?
The Genius, like, of how, like, everything is poetic with him.
Right.
And, like, he's good. I mean,
he's unbelievable.
Wow. I like him. Like, I want to see him in the Hall of Fame. I know a lot of people are like, well, he doesn't, but I like the idea of what we were talking about the Poffo family. Because Macho Man always wanted the family to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Right, where his dad's already in.
Yeah.
His brother won't make it, and I understand that. He shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Genius fan. I loved him when he wrestled because I love when he did the poems and everything else. I thought it was a Genius gimmick. which it was, no pun intended.
It was like Damian Sandow before.
He was the original Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
But, you had him. I thought it was good. The only thing it wasn't a lot of personal stuff about Macho Man. It was like a lot about the Special Olympics, which is awesome. All that's great. I want to hear more. The stories you heard with the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
The stories you heard with Rikishi.
Yeah.
I want to hear more stories like that about Macho Man. I love it when I hear, Hogan's speech was great. I love hearing Hogan.
Good.
I love hearing Hogan talking about Macho Man, talking about how intense he was all the time.
And
and everything. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to watch. His story is on the network now. So
Yeah, because they finally have they have it on there. Cause,
unfortunately, it'll probably be 31 hour compared to 5 hours.
Well, but they actually, because the thing that I found interesting with that is that they never had any interviews with Macho Man. Like, all his interviews were in, 1993. Like, he has none from, a few years ago. Like, he never did anything before he died with wrestling, with that kind of stuff. And I'm very surprised on that. I hate that, because I would have loved to see a Macho Man DVD with Macho Man talking about stuff. But, the speech was good. Paflo was good. I
thought it was great.
It was good. I'm glad they didn't make it the end of the night speech. I know a lot of people are like, well, they should have, but I felt just because he's not alive, it's not the same.
Yeah, no. The thing is, also he waved to one side of the stage, then he walked to the back. Yeah. I would like seeing something paid homage to him during the event. Somebody coming out wearing his glasses. Yeah. Somebody coming out wearing his outfit, or
at least like a video or a video of him, of one of his best speeches he ever did or something, like some kind of collage of
Well, I just was hoping somebody would came out, spent a little bit more time paying homage to him.
Yeah,
because I feel like he was just somebody else to be inducted.
I think there's still some old wounds.
Macho Man
right now
is not something that was just okay.
No.
This man is great.
I'm surprised Hogan didn't do it. What?
Just thinking about it makes me, because this is how this guy meant to me growing up. All right. Watching him, watching the old school matches, I had to go back and watch one. I watched a WCW match of his, but watching him just unbelievable, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, but they did good. And then we had, of course, Kevin Nash. Did we skip anybody else?
Yeah, we skipped Arnold.
Oh, Arnold. Okay. Arnold, Hall of Fame, Celebrity Wing. Congratulations.
Oh, and we skipped Larry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Larry Sabisco. Thank you.
I know you want to talk about
Larry Sabisco. Arnold, I understand why he's in the Hall. Okay. Celebrity Wing. Okay. But Larry Sabisco, grew up in Pittsburgh. He spent so much time talking about Bruno in his backyard. The same thing. I want to hear a little bit more about some behind the scenes stories. I want to hear a little bit.
His speech was weird to me.
Well, he forgot it. That was one thing. When he was talking, he was like, I don't remember what my point was, and he.
He spoke in riddles to me, and I didn't understand it. I didn't know if he was doing that on purpose or if he just really didn't know what he was saying.
It just sounded like he lost. And sometimes people give a speech and they just forget it.
Yeah.
Where they were going. And, I understand that. He talked a lot about thinking Bruno. Yeah, I was going to say.
Santino, I love you.
Yeah. Bruno Sammartino, he talked about that a lot, which I completely understand. That's his friend. But I wanted to hear some more stories of his past, of the AWA days. I wanted to hear some more of the WCW days when he was announced, the NWO, some of that stuff.
Yeah. I liked Bruno's speech, though.
No, Bruno was good.
His speech was really good.
Everybody's speeches were good. Everybody's speeches were good. And then, of course, we had Shawn Michaels inducting Kevin Nash.
Best speech ever.
Shawn Michaels There's and don't let me forget Triple H. There's a couple people every time they're talking, I want to hear them speak.
Hell yeah.
Triple H is one. Shawn Michaels is another. There's some other ones I like hearing when they talk. Michael PSAs is probably one. But those are some guys I like to hear.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. It was a good. I didn't realize it went 4 hours.
4 hours and 1 minute.
I was like, wow. Usually it's like 3, but because it's so big a class, I think they raised it to 4. But I thought it was great. It's always great to see the Hall of Fame. One of my favorite things to see every year.
Yeah.
What?
I tell you that the Kevin Nash speech, it was good.
Same thing with Kevin Nash. It was it felt safe to me. It felt like he didn't share. He talked about Shawn a little bit. He didn't talk about the Clique. He didn't talk about Triple H that much. He didn't talk about X-Pac. He didn't talk about outsiders really. Scott Hall
talked more about his career and about I made money.
I made money, which I understand. That's your number one priority.
Like, yeah.
But I want to hear some more stories about you and Scott Hall tagging together. I want to hear about the Clique driving down the road and why it made you so great.
Like, I want to hear how you and Scott Hall became friends, because him and Scott Hall, in my opinion, had more of a chemistry than him and Shawn Michaels. Because, but I'm saying Shawn Michaels and him had the first friendship, but then he goes with Scott Hall. I want to know how that happened. How did that happen that him and Scott Hall became these buddies?
Right.
Well,
okay. Yeah, I agree with you.
No, I mean, I take back what I said about chemistry. No, Shawn Michaels and him had way better chemistry. But
right. Or were you finished with this year's Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to add some stuff for next year.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to.
I said this year. Do you have anything else to say for this year?
No.
Okay.
Overall, it was good.
Okay.
It was good.
What I wanted to say is next year, the early favorite, and I hope is true because it better be, Michael P.S. Hayes is supposedly going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame finally, which absolutely should be in there with the Freebirds. So they should, of course, we all know the rumors about Undertaker and Sting going to Hall of Fame next year.
You got to have the Freebirds in there. I mean...
Well, especially in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in Dallas. That's where they really cut their teeth. Atlanta, Dallas was where they had the great matches of Von Erichs. You got to have them in there.
And Kevin's got to be there. Kevin has to induct them. Because it would make no sense if Kevin Von Erich did not. Because the Von Erichs and the Freebirds just had that's one of the biggest rivalries of all time. But no, the Freebirds have to be in there. I was talking to someone the other day, and they think because they're in Dallas what they should do, and I know they're not going to do it, but just do tag teams.
No,
because think of all
just
the great
tag teams. No.
But think of all the great tag teams that came out of Dallas, that came out of Texas.
No, I know.
But I mean, they have a point. I know they're not going to do it.
No, you can't do just tag teams.
I know. But
you can't do just tag teams.
But what other tag teams would you think that should be inducted besides the Freebirds? Because we know the Freebirds.
Von Erichs.
Well, Von Erichs are actually already in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I thought it was just Fritz.
No, the family. They inducted the whole family.
There's other ones. God, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Who?
Well, I mean, Rock and Roll, of course, but we all know that. And Midnight.
They're not from Texas?
No, but...
You talking about tag team? You said from Texas.
From Texas? Then...
You said from Texas, dude.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, Shawn Michaels, but, Mario Jannetty's not from Texas.
Man.
All right. I'll tell you what, take a break. You keep thinking about that.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You can't put just you got to have some sort. You can bank on it right now. Sting and Undertaker will be in the Hall of Fame together next year.
Don't bank on it.
Oh, yeah. It would be both of them. All right. You're listening to Wrestling Attitude. Be right back. We'll talk about Raw, and we'll finally get to recap WrestleMania.
This is Little Steven from Wrestling with Attitude. Do you want to be extreme? Or maybe you want to be the show-off / face? Or maybe you want to be the intellectual savior of the masses? Or, if you're really up to it, you could be the 6-month champ. Doesn't matter what you want to be, but you can find it all right here at Wrestling with Attitude. Go to our website at wrestlingwithattitude.com. Like us on Facebook. Also tweet us at WWA Show. Wrestling with Attitude. That's where the big boys play.
I gotta ask, they still play here?
Yeah, they do. I mean, a few of them just got into the Hall of Fame, so they're still here.
That was what I was saying about Kevin Nash. He didn't say anything about Scott Hall. Nothing.
I was very surprised about that.
Nothing about Hogan. All he talked about was money.
I don't think him and Hogan have a very good relationship.
So, he helped you make money. You should have some relationship. I mean, if it wasn't for Hogan, you wouldn't have made all them millions and millions of dollars.
Well, that's like saying the same thing with him and Vince. Hogan and Vince, they don't have a good relationship. You don't hear.
You don't know.
Well, I mean, you don't hear Hogan talk about. You don't hear Hogan talk about Vince. Is what
you
I'm
don't
saying.
have your inside source anymore. Josh Matthews can't tell you.
Yeah, well, because Josh Matthews and me ain't boys anymore. Because we had a fight. But
have you watched that crappy show yet?
I don't want to watch that show.
Watch TNA, dude.
No, I'm good.
It will give you a better definition of wrestling.
I'm good. No,
what wrestling shouldn't be.
It won't give me a better definition.
It was horrible. It's horrible. They're still announcing in the back.
I mean, what is this? Like freaking ECW or something?
What? Yeah, kind of. And they're basically now doing the Rising with Drew Galloway versus MVP with the Beatdown Clan.
That's so stupid. I don't.
It makes my blood pressure rise.
I don't get TNA.
Oh, I get TNA.
I don't think TNA gets
Impact.
I don't think TNA even gets themselves.
Well, anyway, something we do get. Let's talk about WrestleMania. Then we'll go about. We got to cover Raw because we haven't done it yet. The kickoff show was the 4-way title match and Andre Battle Royal. We'll talk. Let's go to the kickoff show first. Let's do the Usos. Los Matadors versus Big E, Kofi versus Kid and Cesaro. Myself, Dutch, and you had Cesaro and Kid. JP went with Usos. And, of course, Cesaro and Kid won.
Yeah.
They won after Kid. Cesaro actually won by pinning Big E.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
I mean, it was good with two of the competitors in there were good. I'm sorry, I didn't like the Los Matadors. I know they did a few spots. I didn't like them being in there, though. Like, I just don't understand why they're still in the WWE, because you can make so many more tag teams with the roster you have. And, you know, I mean, and the New Day, they did a few good spots, too, but that was it. Like, it wasn't exciting to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it also because, you know, one of the Usos gets hurt and he's by himself, and it's like, really?
Well, he was hurt before the match, like I said in my rumors. So I give you some warning.
Yeah.
But look, it had spots. We knew it would be a spotty match anyway. There was a couple of spots. I know on the turnbuckle they did, you know, I'm trying to think. Cesaro, you know, lifted the guy up over the ring. You know, very impressive. He did a suplex when the guy was on the other side. There were some good moves. There was, like I said, it was spots.
I've just never been a fan of a 4-way tag team match.
I am if you got the right tag teams.
Yeah, but
you got Los Matadors.
Yeah, see,
no one cares.
That's the thing. Like, I don't like it when you add a team, so it's like, well, they'll do a good spot or two. I don't like that. You know, you need to add one where it's like a well-oiled machine, and it's not. It's not like that, and I don't. That's why I didn't like the match as much. It could have been better, especially for WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, there should have been. They should have done more.
Yeah.
With different tag teams. Like I said, Los Matadors. Come on. Biggie and Kofi. Nobody cares. That's the reason they should make them bad.
Yeah.
If you would have made them bad, people would have been more interested.
They should have done that a year ago.
But, the tag team division, this is what you get. And the Usos was hurt. I think you should have never split up Rowan and Harper.
No, you shouldn't.
Because there's no, you don't have enough depth in the tag team division.
Yeah. But you can't have them part of the Wyatt family. You could have them by themselves, but Harper would have to talk for both of them, and we're not going to see that.
Put him with Magic. Put him with Zeb Coulter.
Yeah, okay.
He ain't got to be we the people. But anyway, we'll move on from that match. Then we had Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Big Show ends up winning after he throws out Mizdow. And we see Mizdow and Miz go at it finally. And Mizdow throws Miz out. No Finn Balor in this. Hideo Itami was in it. The only NXT guy. Yeah. And then you had Big Show throw him out. And I saw a great meme that said Godzilla. That was great.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing with this match is I felt they could have capitalized on the Miz or Mizdow. Even if you had Miz win, I'd be okay with that. Because then that'd be something he'd put in Mizdow's face and say, "You're nothing. I won this. I'm the Andre winner." And he would have probably got mentions on Raw if that happened.
Who?
Miz, if that happened.
Well, he was on Raw briefly.
No, but I'm saying if he won the Battle Royal. Because they didn't, like you said, they didn't mention it on Raw or nothing. And it's
you
wrong.
You mean Andre or Big Show?
Yeah, because, it brings me back to when Stephanie said a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, about, we want to honor Andre and all this stuff. But you're doing nothing. You're actually making his name worse. And I don't like that. Don't like that.
They're not making it worse. It's just his name is what his name is. It's not tarnishing his legacy. He's not in the Battle Royal. It's not making it mean anything winning this Battle Royal.
But that's what I'm saying. If when you put Andre's name in something, it should mean something. So
right.
You put his name in it and it means nothing. It just kind of makes me feel like, is that how you guys feel about Andre? I'm just saying, because it should mean something. If you name something after a guy, it should be memorable. But no, the one thing I didn't like about this match was, I know you had to do it, but you had all the people that were just in the four-way tag team, and they're in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, no, that I didn't like. The tag team shouldn't have been in it. That they just wrestled earlier. You should have had NXT guys. You should have Finn Balor.
Or at least somebody. Come on. We have this big roster.
You should have had Adrian Neville. And I know you were saving him till Monday.
Yeah.
But you should have had somebody.
You got all these other people. And don't tell me you wouldn't bring anybody back for WrestleMania and everything like that. You guys used to do that all the time. They did. They used to bring people back just as an appearance.
Not the debut on WrestleMania. Usually you don't do a debut on WrestleMania.
No, but I'm saying like bring somebody back for like an appearance kind of thing. Like
a celebrity?
No, like like how they did later with Rowdy Piper and all that, like bringing back wrestlers that can still wrestle, put them in just put them in there to just get
be a commentary.
No,
to be in a match.
Yes. Like how they do at the Royal Rumble. They do at the Royal Rumble.
It's not the same. You don't bring somebody back to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is supposed to be the year award. It's supposed to be the very end of the year.
Yeah.
For what you've done this past year. It's supposed to be. That's the reason Seth Rollins cashed in, because he won Money in the Bank. Roman Reigns is there. Brock Lesnar's there because of it's WrestleMania. It's the end of the year. The cycle, WWE cycle starts over again pretty much after WrestleMania.
I get that.
That's when you don't have somebody come back and debut. I mean, yes, you had The Rock. I mean, what else you need?
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I just feel they didn't need to put those. They didn't need to put the tag team wrestlers in there.
Absolutely.
They should have put somebody else in there. I don't care who.
I agree with you 100%. They should have done. I would rather seen a gimmick Battle Royal again.
God. You're never going to see that again.
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, I would add one of those guys in it before I put a tag team.
That's what I'm saying. Like, adding somebody like that.
Yeah, I would have put somebody.
You mean to tell me there's no one in the Bay Area that used to wrestle for WWE that can still wrestle? Come on.
I know.
But whatever. It's
all right. Anyway, we had DD, Dirty Dutch, had Goldust and Sheamus, but Sheamus wasn't in it. Mizdow was his backup. You had Ryback and Miz 1-2. I had Sheamus, he wasn't in it, so Ryback was my 1, Mizdow was my 2. So you can thank Sheamus for losing.
Dang it, Sheamus.
Because if he was in, then I wouldn't have Mizdow as my backup. Mizdow was 1 for JP. Axel was 2. And, of course, like we said, Big Show wins. The Intercontinental ladder match, first match of the night on the regular show. What? I thought Daniel Bryan ends up winning it. It come down to him and Ziggler, and I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Here's the thing I don't like about this, and say what you want, but just because of where it started with Ambrose. And I'm just wondering, what are you doing with this guy? Because he started this whole thing with him and Barrett. And then you had all these other guys. It's like I thought Ambrose was going to come on top just to give him a big push to show, hey, this is our guy.
Well, before you get into that, we had I picked Daniel Bryan. You had Ziggler.
Of course.
Stardust had Dirty Dutch, and JP had Ambrose, of course. Listen, this did nothing for him if he wins this match. He would be Intercontinental Champion. I understand. There's bigger things for him. Okay? I wish somebody on this show would be more patient. He's going to get his. Don't worry. I know how great a character he's playing. He is playing a great character. I give him that. Okay?
Yeah.
But there's bigger things for him than the IC title. Okay? And he's going to get it. He's not going to be buried. He is right now. But he'll be in the title picture, dude.
I don't like that Daniel Bryan won.
Why not? I'd rather him win this than a World Heavyweight title. This is perfect for him.
Yeah.
He's a perfect person for the Intercontinental title.
See, the only thing I'd like to see Daniel Bryan in, and say what you want, is in a tag team. Because as a single wrestler by himself, all I see is kicks, and that's it.
No, he does. He's a good single wrestler. He's better against the mid-card guys because he makes better matches with these guys.
Except
don't get me wrong. He has great
Ziggler.
matches. He had great matches with Orton. But Ziggler and him have good matches.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is a better fit. At least he's not fighting for the title, the world title.
Yeah, I know, but it's just. Remember when we talked about what the Intercontinental Championship means? It means that we put it on the guy that means something, that we know is going to help the company.
Daniel Bryan does help the company. Say what you want about Daniel Bryan. He helps the company, dude. You can't deny that. Okay? Look at the yes chance. You can't deny the yes chance. As much as I hate them, it's good.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, no. I don't really care for the yes chance, but it is good for business because look at all the people doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're only doing it because they want to. It's like the what chant, like you always say. It's just a one-word phrase they want to do. Same thing with the "We the People." They just want to say something. That's all it is.
They will say anything. Okay.
Oh, we know.
And I told you before, if somebody came out and started saying shit, they would start chanting it.
They have.
I haven't heard that one, but thank you.
Go back to the Attitude Era. You'll hear it.
No, I'm talking about now. I don't remember hearing that. But
I remember hearing "Holy."
Yeah,
I remember that.
Well, "Holy," yes. But I want to see somebody do a promo and they start chanting it. But my point is, dude, I don't
know. I'm glad he's going up with Ziggler right now. I'm just glad. I'm glad he has somebody else that he can fight against. Because I'm sorry, Ziggler's the only kind of guy I see him fight against. I don't want to see him fight against a Kane. Hell, I don't want to see him fight against a Barrett. I don't want to see him fight Wade Barrett.
No, I do. I mean, that's good. I think dude, this is perfect for the IC title.
Yeah.
I'm just, you get Ambrose away from the IC title. You get him away from the U.S. title. You let these guys go forward.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan had his time in the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, to say, but anyway, it's fine, dude. And then the next match was Rollins versus Orton. We all had Orton winning. I knew this was the way it was going to play out. Orton was end up winning. Then what happened later? But Orton wins after a crazy RKO. One of the best RKOs, the best RKO I've ever seen.
Someone told me that was one of the moves of the night that made them just say, now that's badass. Like, they said that was one of the best. And, I mean, I don't care who you are. You can say what you want about Rollins, about Orton. I don't care. But it's a hell of a move, and it took both of them to do that
Right.
move.
It wasn't just one. When you're a wrestler, you got to have a dance partner. I mean, it's not like he did it by himself.
Yeah.
So
what? He just jumped off of Orton's shoulder. It doesn't matter. You still got to be athletic to jump, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you got to time it perfect.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure they did. And
I mean, hell, we've been to indie matches where we've seen people try to do stuff like that, and it goes horribly wrong because they don't have that. They don't connect right. So, I mean, it does matter. And, but yes, Orton and Rollins stole the show that night. That was the match of the night. It was.
Yep.
I mean, it was better than the main event. It was before what happened, but it was good. I mean, I told you, and you said it yourself. We both said it was probably going to be the match of the night.
Oh, yeah, we all knew going into WrestleMania that was going to be it.
Yeah, it was a good match. I'll give it that.
I will say, Rollins missed some spots, but overall it was the best match of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that bad. But, thank you, Randy Orton, because you helped my guy. From what I was reading earlier, they didn't decide to do anything until the Triple H Rock segment. So, they had to sit in the back and be like, all right, it's time to do it. So...
But it's good, though, because, Orton... I mean, the thing is, say what you want about Orton, but, man, he, in my opinion... people are going to hate me for this. Is better than Cena. And I say that as a worker. He's better than Cena because he doesn't mind letting somebody go over on him if they have to. He gets it. But God, I want to see the Legend Killer again, but we're not going to see that for a while.
Well, no, you won't see that ever again. You're going to see this. This is the guy he's going to be.
And I'm okay with it.
So, it's all right, though. It was a great match. Next, we had Sting versus Triple H. Triple H wins. Sting slams his baseball bat onto the stick part of Triple H's sledgehammer. Well, before I say that, everybody comes out. DX comes out with Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels super kicks Sting. NWO comes out a little bit earlier. There's the NWO segment versus DX. But then
They took some good bumps, too.
Yeah, Scott Hall took bumps. Triple H looked scared because he's weaponless. Sting drops his back and goes after Triple H, firing away for punches. Sting does his chest-beating caveman and then flies in the corner, blasting Triple H with a Stinger Splash. He yells at him to get up. He goes for another Stinger Splash, but this time Sting runs right into the shot from the head of the sledgehammer. Triple H picked up and blasted Sting. 1, 2, 3. Sting wins. Oh, Sting wins. No, Triple H wins. Sorry.
Yeah. No, and I don't know.
Well, before you get into it too much, I think it was great. The ending, I think it was right. I didn't care. I will agree with some people. I don't like a crazy ending to matches. I don't. But this match needed something because Triple H won, which none of us thought was going to happen. But this match needed something because the one-on-one match up to when everybody came out was not that great.
Well, a fellow wrestling fan said to me that it looked like your grandfather wrestling kind of thing. And I agree, it did, but Triple H carried that match, and that's the thing.
Oh, absolutely.
You needed those other guys, because Triple H can't do it all by himself, because it makes Sting look weak. We can't make Sting look weak because, we don't want to tarnish his legacy. We get it, but if that's how the match is going to be, I don't want to see next year. No offense, Sting needs to hang it up, because he did good, but
he needs to have more matches other than WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? He needs to have. I'm not saying wrestle every month or every week, just every once in a while. I agree with JP. He should come back. He should wrestle at Survivor Series or Royal Rumble. He should wrestle at the Rumble at least, and then you go into WrestleMania. This should not have been his first match in WWE.
But I think it had a lot to do with money sales because of
they were trying to make the cash. I understand that. But then the end result, it's not going to be as great because he's not been in the ring in a while.
Well,
I mean, you can do what you want in practice. You can do what you want before WrestleMania in the ring, but it's a whole different story to be in the ring at WrestleMania and performing in front of 76,000 people.
We'll talk more about him when we get to Raw because that might change the things of Sting. But going back to WrestleMania with Sting is, the thing I liked about the whole segment is because it wasn't just about Sting and Triple H. It was WWE versus WCW. And that's what that whole match, in my opinion, was set up to be.
Right, which I do understand that. The X-Pac thing, I kind of... Look, he's part of both.
I know. Did you see his face when they come out? He's like, what do I do?
Well, no, the bad part is X-Pac, the night before, was at the Hall of Fame suites of Kevin Nash. All right. Then the next day, you got him coming out with DX.
They all were, though.
Or Shawn Michaels, too.
And Razor Ramon. All of them.
No, I know. But that's what I'm saying. There's no... I mean, it's all out in the public now. So, whatever.
I said when we were watching, I said, count the Click members.
No, I remember. But... It was fun, dude. I mean, I understand why they did what they did.
Yeah.
It was great seeing Sting in the ring. I just think he should have been He should have been in the ring earlier to get that ring rust out.
Yeah. And kudos to Scott Hall for taking a bump, man. I didn't think I'd see him take a bump. Kudos to him. I mean, I could see one more match in that guy.
Even the retirement home.
Oh
no, dude, come on.
Have him against Sean Waltman. It's good.
No. And I said no again. No.
Man, you're just becoming a regular Daniel Bryan over there, aren't you? No.
But at least I'm not saying the other word.
Oh, but you
No,
were
I'm not.
saying it. You were saying it over there. You're going, "Hey guys, look at me! Yes, yes."
That's because I won that match.
God.
But next was Paige and AJ versus the Bellas. AJ wins with the Black Widow. It was a good match. To me, it went on a while, but I know why it did, because it's WrestleMania and they needed to fill the time.
Yeah, it's just
and they gave Divas a chance.
I really thought we were going to see something else in there. I really thought we might have saw a debut. I know you and I were both hoping for it.
I figured at least by Raw she would show up, but it's all right. We'll see where they go with this rivalry. Then we got Cena versus Rusev. Cena wins the U.S. title after F5.
Yeah.
F5. Add to adjustment from Cena, 1, 2, 3. Cena's the new U.S. champion. Rusev had lost his first match via pinfall. We all knew this was going to happen.
Yep.
After the match, we see the trainers checking on Lana outside the ring. She's selling an injury, and Rusev's mad at her, and he leaves her at the ring by herself. So it looks like she'll be off TV for a little bit.
Well, you see, and that's where I'm kind of confused. What are you going to do with Rusev? Because I don't want to hear him talk by himself. I don't like to hear him talk by himself.
Well, if you any notice of what happened on Monday, it looked like he's starting over again because he beat some jobber. We'll talk about it then when we're on.
Stupid.
We'll see.
By the way, Cena, worst entrance of the night.
Yeah, I mean, Rusev gets a tank.
And you come out, let me get my towel. I mean, come on. You couldn't have had, like, the National Guard or the freaking Marines. Yeah. You couldn't have had somebody, like you did a few years ago with the flag and, drive a freaking Jeep out there waving the flag. Come on. Do something, man. This is for the United States title. This is the one that got you on the map, Cena. Right. And you couldn't do anything. Even if you went back to doing Thugonomics, which I know will never happen. But, I mean, something.
Well, the next thing that happened, Triple H and Stephanie comes out and says WrestleMania broke attendance record at the stadium. 79,976, which you could watch on the WWE Network for $9.99.
The funniest part of the night was what you told me right when they said that. It goes, yeah, they made a new attendance record. It's only been around for 2 years.
Yeah, it's been around for a year. They should have broke the record. No. Then we had, as they were talking, Triple H says, we own everybody. The Rock came out. You knew he was coming. Yeah, while he's out there, he gets slapped by Stephanie. Stephanie says, what are you going to do, hit a woman? Rock gets out of the ring, act like he's going to the back. Then he walks over to the side of the ring, and Ronda Rousey, the UFC Women's Champion, is there.
Oh, yeah.
She's looking great.
As always.
She jumps over the barricade, goes in the ring with The Rock, and Stephanie tries to hit her, and she catches her arm and flips her over. First, she does she flips over Triple H first with an arm bar, and then she does the same. She puts Stephanie in a move, which was great because Stephanie was selling it Monday night.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Triple H and Stephanie leave the ring. The Rock and Ronda Rousey is in the ring. I thought it was great. It was great, dude.
And again, I did not know The Rock was from the Bay Area. Did not know that because he says that in his promo. But it was a good segment because I get it what they're doing. They're going to set up for next year. It's cool. I get it. I'm looking forward to that though, because there's so much things they can do with that. There's just so much they can do with that.
I agree.
They could have it just Triple H and Stephanie, or somebody interferes, and we don't know who. It could be tons of people.
Mm-hmm. You're right. It could be.
Be good.
Then we had Bray Wyatt versus Undertaker. Undertaker ends up winning with Tombstone. Look, to me, Undertaker looked good, like his body. He looked better, his body.
Yeah.
But his face just looked like, man, you need to retire.
It looked
his
like
hair was growing out too much, I thought.
Yeah.
I'd rather seen the short mohawk like he had last year.
he did when he stopped doing like the American Badass, like after he got rid of the ponytail.
Well,
and
no,
then
I'm talking about
just
you
had
saw
the spiked hair.
Right, but that was different than what he had.
No, I know, but
he had the hairline going away. He just looked really old.
I like that he had the hair this year, and the reason is because last year he just looked too wrinkly with a bald head. Because he's got so many just damage on his head, it covered it up. It made him look younger to me.
Okay.
So
he looked older than me.
He looked better than last year. Or that picture you showed me about 6 months ago, he looked way better than that. So,
well, let's take a break, come back, and we'll talk about we'll talk a little bit more about the Undertaker match and then the Reigns and Lesnar.
Okay.
You're listening to Wrestling with Attitude.
This is the Melting Pot, a.k.a. 6-month champ. And you're listening to Wrestling with Attitude. Don't forget, you can find every show on WrestlingWithAttitude.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Wrestling with Attitude. And don't forget to tweet us on Twitter at WWA Show.
All right, welcome back to Wrestling with Attitude.
Yeah.
What, your heartbreak kiss, huh?
Yeah.
Before we went to break, we were talking about Wyatt and Undertaker. Look, it wasn't a horrible match. I just,
Well, there was also, the whole thing about that he sprained his ankle or something, right, Bray Wyatt? So that could have been a factor.
I know, but you put the two of them together.
Look, man.
It was the wrong time. If Brock Lesnar would have lost the Undertaker last year, if John Cena would have lost to Bray Wyatt, then I can understand this matchup. But because you had Bray Wyatt lose to Cena last year, and you had Brock Lesnar beat the Undertaker, this did nothing for me. Because the face of fear, what do I fear? You have lost to more people this year than you won.
Yeah.
So you can't say. I mean, look at the pay-per-views throughout the year. I mean, he lost John Cena. He beat Dean Ambrose. I'll say that on a pay-per-view, but he lost on TV to him many times. There was nothing to fear. He didn't win the Rumble. He didn't beat nobody up.
Yeah,
It's nothing to fear.
I know, and I hate that because I love his character. I do. I love his character. But it's just, I don't know what they're doing with the guy because I feel bad for him because they should be doing something with him.
This is the one guy that I feel like he's buried.
He is.
Because I don't know what you're going to do with him. I mean,
you could have him go away for a month or two, bring him back, and do something else. Like you can say, well, The Undertaker beat me, kind of like what JP was saying last week about, you could have The Undertaker beat, he beat me and now I'm rising up from the ashes kind of thing. I mean, and then reamp him again, but I just feel like it's the same thing with Jack Swagger. You put Jack Swagger in all of these all of these different things, and then he loses every time. That's what I don't like. Like, I don't like seeing Bray Wyatt, because Bray Wyatt needs to be one of the top heels in that company right now. He does. We don't have many top heels.
I agree.
So we need another top heel. He needs to be that other top heel.
No,
So-
I agree with you. Then we had Reigns versus Lesnar. I thought it was a good match. Reigns took the beating. He did well.
God, he took
he sold a lot. He did well. I mean, I don't think it was a 5-star match. It's probably 3, maybe a 4 at the most. But the ending, you needed to do it. Rollins comes in after Brock Lesnar hits the F5 on Reigns. They're both knocked out for a few minutes or seconds. Rollins comes in. He cashes in his Money in the Bank. As he's cashing it in, Lesnar gets up. Or actually, Reigns goes for a curb stomp, picks him up. Well, actually, he hit Lesnar twice with curb stomps. Excuse me. Then he went for another one, and Brock caught him with the F5, but Reigns came in and speared Lesnar, and that's when Rollins, my boy, did the curb stomp on Reigns, and 1, 2, 3, your new champion is Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. I thought it was master. I thought it was a great game plan.
You done?
No, I got a few more minutes. There's nothing I would have changed about this. It's perfect time to cash in. No one's ever done it at WrestleMania.
I think
you got a rivalry for months.
I think what you should have done is let somebody win the match first, and then let them cash in.
I think this was better.
Well,
here's 2 reasons why. Lesnar, you don't hurt Lesnar at all. He still looked dominant, and he didn't lose. He didn't get pinned.
Yeah.
Okay. Then technically, Reigns got beat, but
he was technically the guy on top in a way.
Right. He beat up Lesnar.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's coming out on top.
Because he did what he said he was going to do.
Right.
He beat Lesnar, technically.
He did. He beat up Lesnar.
Yeah.
After a little bit, he finally beat up Lesnar. But Rollins just capitalized. I saw something earlier, Rollins is today's edge. And that's true. He is. He's today's edge right now. Right now, I don't know where his career will go.
It's true.
He's out, and I know JP don't want to admit it, and certain people don't want to admit it, but dude, he's won matches. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you win. You just win.
Yeah.
I would like to see him win some matches on his own and cleanly. We haven't seen that yet.
Well, he did this all by himself, though. Nobody came out with him.
Right. I agree. That is true.
That I like.
I would rather seen him beat Orton handily, or just hit him with the curb stomp and win the match, instead of him losing the match. I would rather see him done that. Then you could be like, wow, this guy just beat Orton. Now he's going to go fight for now he's going to cash in to win the title.
Well, I like that they did it the other way, because then it's like, oh, man, well, because then it's like, well, Seth Rollins' momentum is down. He ain't going to do nothing. Then he comes out. It's good, because then both him, Orton, and Rollins win. Orton won the match. Rollins gets the championship. It was a win-win situation. I'd rather see that than see Rollins win twice in a row.
Right.
I didn't like it last year where I saw Daniel Bryan win twice in a row. Come on.
I know. I understand that. But you see it too many times. Well, he didn't cash in. We knew when he lost to Orton, he was going to cash in. I was like, watch.
Yeah, but
I've been saying it for 6 months.
We've never seen it at WrestleMania.
No, it was a great moment. It was a great time to do it, to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people don't like it, but oh well.
No, I think it's great. It went down, again, someone told me, they said, great match, and it's one of the best moments that we've ever seen at WrestleMania, because we've never seen someone cash in at WrestleMania. It was awesome. My question, though, is this. What do you do with Reigns now? because Reigns is not going to go one-on-one with Lesnar. Lesnar ain't going to do anything
We'll
now.
see. We'll talk about Raw, but dude, I mean, you can have him go against Rollins at Extreme Rules. Let the rivalry begin.
See, I would hold it out. I'd hold it out till at least SummerSlam, because I feel like them two, you put them two in the ring.
There's bigger fish to fry.
Oh, no.
There's bigger fish to fry.
Oh, no.
Okay. What?
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking at
What am I thinking?
SummerSlam. He's going to come back at SummerSlam.
Who?
Lesnar.
Well, yeah, he will, but I'm thinking there's bigger fish to fry. I think that.
Who are you thinking about?
Dean Ambrose is going to be in that picture for the title before SummerSlam. He'll be in that title picture by SummerSlam. Because, I mean, think about it. You can have Rollins beat Reigns if you want. Yeah, and then he'll go next opponent. It'll be either Orton or Ambrose.
You know what I would like?
And I would love to see him and Ambrose.
Have Ambrose win Money in the Bank.
Right. Exactly. There's another option.
And then, boom, he basically goes down the line. I don't know, maybe WrestleMania, maybe before WrestleMania.
No, he'll do it before. I think
And
this year they'll
boom.
have. I think they'll have Ambrose cash in that night.
I could see them doing that, and
I think they do. I mean, instead of spending your time doing the IC title, US title, this is what he'll do.
Well, he deserves to get the Money in the Bank because he deserves to be that guy.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not going to hold a title on him, because, come on, we don't want to see him as a U.S. title.
No.
I would love to see him as an Intercontinental. I think he'd be great as an Intercontinental
No,
champion.
I don't want to see him as one of those. I want to see him as a heavyweight
Well,
champion.
then fine. Let's see him with the Money in the Bank because, I mean, we knew when Rollins got it, it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
At least once. We were going to see something. So, I mean, at least then we are guaranteed Ambrose is going to the top. We want to see that.
Oh.
So, I agree with you on that. But hopefully we see something with these guys.
We will. There's plenty of time, dude.
Yeah.
Then we got Raw Monday night from San Jose, California. Lesnar comes out with Heyman. Suplex City chant breaks out. I thought it was great. Another great Heyman promo. If you didn't see it, you got to watch it.
You gotta.
I'm not going to tell you about it because it was so great. He says Lesnar wants his rematch clause tonight. Stephanie comes out, selling the injury. Ronda Rousey chant breaks out. She says Rollins isn't here. He is in New York doing the NBC Today show. Heyman says Lesnar is going to win his belt back tonight. And then the first match of the night, I thought was great. Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. Bad News Barrett was on commentary. Bryan wins with the running knee. Barrett attacks Bryan. And then Sheamus makes his return for the save. And I remark, what the hell happened to him? He has a mohawk and a beard, has dreads.
You don't get it, do you?
The Celtic warrior?
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
No, but that's what that is, because that's how they dress. I
understand. What year is it?
Dude, I don't care. He is the Celtic warrior.
What year is it? What year is it?
It's 2015.
Then dress like it's 2015.
Go to Ireland and you'll see people dress like that.
I'll be there in a couple months. I bet you I won't see nobody there.
I bet you will.
All right.
I bet you. I bet you the gentleman's wager.
All right. I'll bring you back a pint.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I can bring one back.
No, you probably can't.
But yes, I'm like, okay. He bro kicks Daniel Bryan. He beats up Ziggler. And while he's doing that, a "you look stupid" chant breaks out. I love it. Great. He gets on the microphone, says he's back.
I think it's cool.
I think it was good. I'd rather seen it against Cena because it would have been better. Then we got Kid and Cesaro and the Ascension versus New Day and the new tag team, the Lucha Dragons. Lucha Dragons. Lucha Dragons.
No, it's Lucha.
No, it's Lucha Dragons.
I hate.
Well, you don't like the Lucha Dragons?
You know, because all that the chant that broke out during it was just Eddie, Eddie.
Oh.
I mean, come on, man.
Well, we had the Ascension and Cesaro argue. Carlisto wins with the Salenta del Sol.
Okay, say that 5 times.
That's what you said it was. It was all right match. I mean, it was okay. But I liked the debut. I forgot to drag, so that's actually 3 people were back. Lesnar's backstage with Heyman. And then we got Adrian Neville video showing. Lesnar comes out. Seth Rollins comes out. A big cheer breaks out when Rollins comes out. Dude, he's getting the love.
Yeah,
Rollins versus Lesnar for WWE title. Rollins walks out of the ring and grabs a mic. He says he's not feeling well and says he doesn't feel like fighting. He actually said something about his mouth or something.
He said his foot from
his
curb stomping you last night.
Yeah, that was great. Rollins leaves the ring. Lesnar F5 Michael Cole. He beats up a camera guy. He flipped over the table on Booker T. And JBL got hurt. Stephanie comes out and says, "You will get a rematch. Your actions have consequences." Stephanie suspends him. They show JBL, Cole, and Michael T. all hurt. Michael Cole was on a stretcher. I thought it was great because you keep the beast going. This was a segment like.
The only thing I didn't like in the whole thing was one commentator couldn't have been okay. Because of what happens later, and we'll get to that. But
you talking about Byron Saxton?
Horrible.
He's fine.
By himself? Horrible.
No, you got to have more than one person.
And that's the thing. You never have one person commentate. But no, I thought it was okay. The thing I didn't like about it is that, okay, so Lesnar gets suspended. Didn't see that one coming.
You know what? It's a perfect way to write him off TV for a little bit.
I know. And,
so it's fine.
You know, but then that means when he comes back, he's going to have heat with Rollins. Cool. All right, so Rollins has, like, heat with 5 guys right now.
I know, which is great. I love it, dude.
It's fine.
It's
great.
great.
At least we know the storylines won't get old.
Because you can do something with him with anybody.
Yeah.
Then we had Stephanie was backstage with Nate Young. She says she's going to find Lesnar, and she calls him a son of a bitch.
Should have fired him. Made it better.
No.
Just, you know.
No. And then Byron Saxton was on commentary. Stardust versus Mizdow. Mizdow comes out to Miz's entrance. I couldn't believe that. And then Mizdow wins with skull crushing finale. Miz attacks Mizdow with the skull crushing finale, which we saw.
Look how far the Rhodes Scholars have gone.
You know what? I didn't even think about that.
I mean,
during the match, I didn't even think about that.
It's the Rhodes Scholars.
Yeah.
It's a reunion.
I didn't even think about that, dude. Yeah, one's a freak, and then the other one's got to dress like a freak. You take the pick which one looks like what.
It's true.
I mean, you know. Then we got Axel Mania is over now. He comes out, and Adrian Neville, or just Neville as they say, comes out. I thought it was a good entrance.
The man who defies gravity forgot.
Right.
That's what it is.
Good. Neville wins with that red arrow. Great move as always. Cena comes out, and guess what time it is? Time for a new shirt.
Is it?
Yeah, it says U.S. Champion on it.
Oh, God.
He throws an open challenge. This is where I think Sheamus should have came out. Dean Ambrose comes out, and it's Ambrose versus Cena for the U.S. title. Cena wins with the Attitude Adjustment. Then we got Renee Young with Seth Rollins. He says, you know what? I earned Money in the Bank. I earned the heavyweight title and be able to cash in when I wanted to. I thought it was great. Orton interrupts him, and Kane and the Big Show up. Show up. And
you said it right the first time.
Yeah,
Big Slow.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping they wouldn't show up tonight, but they did. Rollins says, find you 2 partners to take on us. he said it shouldn't be too hard to find. And then we had AJ, Paige, and Naomi versus Bellas and Natalya. AJ came out wearing "I'm a Hugger" T-shirt.
That was you on it. Oh my God, that was my favorite. I was like, damn, Bayley's getting some love.
That's what I thought. I was like, damn, all right, AJ. Nikki hits Brie by accident. Naomi beat Nikki with the great view, the rear view.
Yeah, don't say the great view. Hey, what's that in the back? That's a great view.
So he hits him with the rear view.
All right.
Then Orton has a partner in Ryback. Then we got Rusev versus Goldust. So Rusev wins with Acolyte. Okay. So you got Goldust, who you can't do another match with Stardust, but you can put Goldust against Rusev.
And why did they do that is what I want to know.
I don't know. That's horrible.
And by the way, during the John Cena and Ambrose match, halfway through it, finally Byron Saxton gets some help and gets Jerry comes out and helps him.
That's right.
Which I was glad about. I'm sorry, I can't listen to one guy just
it's boring.
Just announce. Like,
it's hard to do it.
Even JR couldn't do it by himself. He did it a few times, and it was like, it was lackluster. Like,
you really need to.
You do. Like, Gorilla Monsoon always had somebody. They all always had another person. And I felt like that was just WWE's chance. They were like, you know what, kid? We're giving you a shot tonight. And I don't think Byron Saxton did a good job. But,
But then we had Rollins, Big Show, and Kane versus Reigns, Ryback, and Orton.
Yeah.
Reigns was the missing tag team partner. It was great when everybody's in the ring. Same old shit chant breaks out.
It's true.
Which is, absolutely true.
And I mean, I don't get mad at certain people that are getting angry with this company because they have a point. They do. I'll give them that. I've listened for a long time, and it's true. Look, I don't hate the company as a whole.
Well, a wave breaks out. I thought that was great. A wave breaks out.
That's how much these fans love you guys, because they don't care.
The wave breaks out. They don't care about Big Show and Kane and a 6-man tag. Rollins does a DX chop during the match, and then Reigns wins with the spear.
Now he's pushing it.
What are you talking about? By doing the chop?
Doing a DX chop. Who you think you are?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Now, let's dissect this match.
Going back to what you were saying. Okay, I don't know where you're going now.
I'm saying let's dissect this match. Now, take Big Show and Kane out of the scenario. Who would you put with Rollins? I'm saying that makes sense in the storyline, or that you could just start anew right now.
I would. I've been saying from day one, Sheamus should be in the Authority. Okay, so I'm taking Big Show out. Or no, I'm taking Kane out first.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd rather have the Big Show and Sheamus than Big Show and Kane.
Okay.
I would take and put Sheamus in. I will put Rusev in as the other one. Because there's more future and more upside to those two than Kane and Big Show. Those would have been better. I would even put Wade Barrett in it before I would put the Big Show and Kane.
See, I think Rusev would have worked last night because, he just lost to Cena. He needs to start anew. Hey, why don't I join the Authority? Because it's worked out so well for everyone else.
Well, no, if he would have stayed in, if he would have been the Authority since Survivor Series, it would have worked. Sheamus the same way. Sheamus could have showed up last night and helped. What they should have done is, if you would have took out, say, Kane, back in Survivor Series, you could have put Rusev in his place. Then they go up to last night. You could throw the Big Show out of the ring, say he got hurt. Whatever. Sell an injury, whatever. Go away for a month or whatever. Then you could have brought back Sheamus last night to be your, say, you know what? Okay. Rollins could have been like, you know what? You got 2-on-3 on me right now. I've got a surprise for you. And my tag team partner tonight is Sheamus.
Okay.
Sheamus has always been a friend of the Authorities.
Yeah, I could see that. No, I mean, I like it.
I know he's not really had anything to do with the Authority.
Yes.
He's been attacked. But as a bad guy, you could have brought him back and said he's had a change of heart.
You know, it would have made more sense than what they did because, you know, the crowd is right. It's the same stuff we've seen, and I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of Kane and Big Show because they don't deserve to be anywhere. And, you know.
No, they deserve to be somewhere.
No.
The pink slip is. No, listen, I don't have a problem with them being a mid-card thing, mid-card talent. That's where they need to be. All right, this corporate Kane doesn't work. This gentle giant that is a crybaby doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's not worked for a while.
And they don't need to be in the main event. I
No,
mean,
that's what I'm
start
saying.
pushing
They
your
don't-
guys. Like, seriously. You're
That's what I'm
pushing
saying.
your right faces, but you're pushing the wrong heels. It's true. No, but, I mean, overall in Raw, I don't know, man. I mean, the beginning was great, I thought. I thought the beginning was good. It just ended crappy. But I thought that it began good. Raw began pretty good. And then it just went crap. After the Divas match, it just went crap. And I hate that. So, I mean, what do you think about it? What would you give Raw?
Raw, I give WrestleMania a B, a solid.
Solid Daniel Bryan?
No, I give it A-. I give Raw a solid Daniel Bryan. That's C-.
I'll give Raw a solid Daniel Bryan. I give WrestleMania. You know what? Hell, I liked it. I'll give it an A. Not an A-, not an A+, just an A. I mean, it was good. It was better than last year, in my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with me, but I think it was. It's pretty good because I didn't have to hear the yes chants pretty bad, you know, because they weren't inside an arena.
No, like I said, I thought WrestleMania was awesome.
It was good.
You know.
And now it's time for Superstars of the Week.
Go ahead.
Gotta give it up for Goldust for losing just for no reason. Great last match. Thank you for being in the company for 20 plus years. We'll see you never. I gotta give it up for. Is this just for Raw or is this everything?
Whatever you want to do of the week.
Of the week.
It says of the week.
Well, I'm giving it up for Triple H. As much as people want to dog on him, it was a good match. He carried Sting. So I'm giving it up for Triple H and everything else he did. And then the last guy, I'm going to give it up for Orton because he's making another rivalry with Rollins. It's going to be good. So those are my three.
Okay. There's 3 stars, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Star 1, Seth Rollins. Star 2, Seth Rollins. Star number 3, and the most important star, Seth Rollins again. Because he is your WWE champion, just like the Summit is the champion of WWE. He is champion of the WWE. And the Rollins era has begun.
Enjoy it now because it ain't gonna go.
It don't matter
forever.
as long as I show up when the big time rolls.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's all that matters. So yes, as Daniel Bryan says, yes.
No.
All right. Anything else you want to add? Nope. All right.
I guess not.
All right. All right. You're listening to Wrestling Attitude. Catch us next week. Listen to us on Stitcher, Spreaker, and iTunes. Until next week.